right. Welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate and Stuff. I am joined here by my co-host John. Oh, not John. Carlos Mora. He is sitting in the John seat today, running the operation. Hey, listen. Every week we come on, we talk about a little real estate, talk some politics, talk some stuff. And if you're a listener of our show, we just speak the truth. So do us a favor, hit the like and subscribe button as we go through today review. Carlos got invited to speak at a Sub 2 Friends event down in South Florida. So I'd love to hear all about that, see what your topics were. Did you get were people saying you were dropping gems, gold? Like what was going on, man? Fill us in on, well, first, actually, why don't you fill us in on the event itself? Who hosted it? What was it for? Obviously, Sub 2, but just in general, what was the main topics of all the speakers? And kind of run us through that, and then we'll get into like what you talked about.
It's an interesting strategy that I think makes sense for, man, you still got that cough. It's an interesting strategy that makes sense for somebody like Pace's size that has such a massive community. So I think the play is setting up these Sub 2 meetups where you have people that are like coaches or prominent people in the Sub 2 Gator lending community that are able to host these local meetups. So the two guys that hosted it, one of them, your boy Esteban Andrade, with the Cybertruck up there. The other guy, Israel Miller, actually another Baltimore DC guy, spent some time there. But they hosted it. They were looking for some sponsorship. We didn't sponsor technically this one. I was not expecting like a ton of people. I was expecting maybe like 10, 20-ish people.
How many people?
I didn't get a head count. I'd probably say close to 70. But for like a Tuesday night, just like doing a little bit of posting on social media, like that community shows up. I think that's just a testament of that brand and how strong they are and how much,
I agree.
People love Pace, which is cool.
I think it's a great community,
yeah. So free meetup event. It was at a restaurant that had like outdoor seating, like it was at like a little like
typical
patio
South
area.
Florida. Yeah, that's
exactly. No,
that's
seriously,
different.
there was like
South Florida.
there's like reggaeton music while we're like on mics, like talking about stuff. But the two speakers were me and then this other guy, Luigi Ferrar, who has an interesting business model. He has a big WhatsApp chat group and he just JVs deals with people. So it doesn't pay for any marketing, just takes people's deals, JVs them to a buyer list, works leads in a WhatsApp chat. Pretty interesting. Sells a subscription to the WhatsApp chat as well. So his company's off-market deals, which is pretty cool business model. The breakdown of the event itself, Esteban showed up really late, so Miami time. The event was to his own event. You have to have rolls up to your own event late in the Cybertruck. The event was 6 to 9, and
typical Cybertruck move.
The event was 6 to 9 o'clock. He showed up at 8:30. Had some car issues though. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he had some. But honestly, what I liked was like the networking, like just touching base with a lot of people there. A lot of people I ended up knowing there. Just friends that have been in wholesaling and investing for a long time, stuff like that. So it was good catching base with them, what they're up to, what they're seeing, different stuff like that. I would say probably 95% of the people there are brand new, looking to get in real estate, just had basic questions. It was good to just like pair them with people or have some go-to people. We ended up hanging out longer. And everybody that was there was talking a lot. What was interesting, it seemed BP is a lot of the people that were new were in other areas of real estate. Like there were like real estate agents there. I spoke to a lady that has been a commercial real estate agent, was just saying the deals take too long to close. She wants to get into more fast cash. There was a guy that does co-living pad splits that was there that wants to get more into. So it's interesting. These people that have their arm or have their hands in some other avenue of real estate specifically want to get into subject to wholesale deals.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I was just going to say the subject to aspect, maybe not the subject to wholesale. I'm not a big fan of that. But I think subject to could be a great strategy for an advanced real estate person.
Mm-hmm.
But, my feeling is I just think it was opened up to too many people. And I think people like Pace can withstand anything that's thrown at them because, I mean, with his net worth, his balance sheet, his portfolio. I mean, he can guarantee what he can guarantee, but there's a lot of people that can't. So it can be a little dangerous there. And it does open it up to people looking for stuff. But at the same time, it's a phenomenal strategy. But like the wholesaling of it that's a tough game. That's a tough game. But I know a lot of people don't care about that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. But a lot of people hungry for knowledge, want to network, want to do that stuff. I'm trying to think of anything notable before we kind of talk about what we spoke about. Any good insight for BP and the audience here?
What'd you speak about?
I spoke about how having an online presence, so essentially like a really good Carrot site. We couldn't like pitch the product since we didn't pay. We can't just say like, hey, go to Carrot and
what is he gonna? Let me ask you this: if you did that as a Cybertruck owner, what is he going to do?
It would.
What is he gonna do? You're asking me to speak at an event. You want me to not say my company name? Was he even there when you were speaking? He wouldn't even fucking know.
He pulled up as him and Omer pulled up as we were about to speak, and he led and introduced us and stuff like that. So it was actually really good timing. We waited until like 8:30, and we ended up hanging out there till like 10:30, 11 o'clock anyway. But I spoke about how you can increase like your acquisitions and your conversion by having trust and credibility online. AKA, if you have a Carrot site, you're able to funnel conversations, whether you're on the phone, email, in your marketing. I'm going to pull up a couple ones. I can't hear you, by the way. But I think I have some pulled up because I was on the Carrot Cast yesterday. I may not, so we'll just talk through them. But how you're essentially able to use different parts of your website to build trust and credibility, and how that's just an easy lever for your acquisitions and marketing. So for example, like having a detailed about us page saying where you're at, what type of situations you help homeowners in. So me and you were jamming, and I actually talked, me and Papa P met on Tuesday to talk about this episode. So I actually used a lot of insight and suggestions that Papa P did, like building a brand online and what you could have as far as like the opportunity forms, having really good follow-ups, like not only taking notes of what the seller's situation is, but especially for the subject to folks, having like a really good idea of like what the monthly mortgage payment is, how much they owe, different things like that. Having that in a CRM, in your lead management solution, wink, Carrot CRM, InvestorFuse is really important. But I didn't necessarily say that unless it was one-on-one conversations with people, which I had a lot of one-on-one conversations with people.
What was the reception to your speaking? Was it positive?
Very positive. Very positive. Probably advanced for a lot of people. Like a lot of people don't have a website, or they haven't spoke to a lot of sellers. I think what they're let's say talk the 90-95% that are like brand new, haven't done a deal, or like just talking to leads. It almost seems like they're just like, about to have conversations with sellers, or like just starting to have conversations with sellers. So it's not that it was over their head. It's just like if you're doing like Maslow's hierarchy of needs just for a business, they're not seeing the connect.
They're not there yet. They're not there yet. I mean,
they're not seeing the connect.
It's either you go all in on that as your only strategy of building a brand around those types of things, or it comes later as you gain your experience, expertise, and skills in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're brand new, that'd probably go over their head.
Mm-hmm. 100%. I do want to show, I hopefully have it in my history here. I'm not able to find it, but I do want to show a site, and like BP was giving me some examples of like, or just, we were just talking through some things that I could speak at the meetup specific for that audience, the sub-2 community. So here's like, an 11 out of 10 example. This is a longtime Carrot member in California. Laurel buys houses. And here's an example of what I was talking about. So builds a lot of credibility. She has an ebook, 3 ebooks right on her site. You scroll down about 40% on her site. She has 3 ebooks here on people that are hoarders, private money lending roadmap, your next move, which this says something like helping elderly homeowners like move on to their next property. she apparently has a story of being used to being like a house hoarder and having to do the same thing, where she like tells her own personal story and how she got out of it. Now her, her passion is helping sellers in the same position. So this is like an 11 out of 10 example, but this is essentially the idea that I was speaking about. Like if you're able to make blog posts and just have this on your information and funnel conversations with sellers, in my opinion, this is just such an easy lever to pull and such a high leverage thing to implement in your business. So BP was telling me like, man, you could do the same thing. Like I have this little ebook, or like, here's a blog post on how I help people that are going into foreclosure in Broward County, for example. But I thought this was pretty cool. What do you think about this? Like, isn't this just like baller credibility? Having books, having links to your books.
Click the link.
So it opts them in. Actually,
substandard landing page, but
this one.
Yeah, like I would, well, yeah, but I get, I mean, she's making that. I mean, either way, it's phenomenal. But like, you should have for like a book, you should have a landing page with like your hero header at the top with like the picture of the book, and then break it down. What are you going to learn in it? Click a couple CTAs in there. Like that CTA is way too much on the face of it.
Yeah.
Like it should just be like an initial CTA to funnel them in and capture their info. I mean, but she wants to get it all in one shot, but like somebody might not want to give it all. And she makes the address required too.
Right.
It's going to scare some people away. Like, honestly, I would just need your name and email first, because it should be part of a larger strategy is what I was saying. I mean, like you're going to scare someone away. Like if she's really trying to get a seller and you're here, like, give me your address, give me your phone number, give me your.
Well, this is for the book.
Do you read my book? Like, why the fuck am I giving you my phone number to read your goddamn book?
Well, this is for shipping them the book, a physical copy of the book.
Why do you need my phone number?
That's true.
Wait, you're shipping it? Oh, I apologize. I thought it was an ebook. I thought it said ebook. Did I read that wrong on the front
maybe
page? Go back.
Let's see.
No, I apologize. I thought I said my free ebook. I just must have totally. What do they call that? Like a
Freudian slip?
No, what is that word? Oh, it's killing me now. Mandela effect or something? What is that? Where like you think you see something but you don't? Whatever.
I think this is the form you were looking for, which is a standard, high converting carrot, name, address.
Yeah,
phone,
I
email,
apologize. I thought it was
offer.
an ebook, so my whole landing page thing was different. But if she's just shipping people books for free and
that's 11 out of 10.
You're right. It says free shipping up top.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And it's not even the Russell Brunson where it's like, hey, toss me $8 to cover the shipping.
Yeah. No. That's like, dude, like, well,
this is next level.
Yeah, this is next level. I take back what I said, because now she's like basically has a lead acquisition cost of $8 per lead.
Exactly. Which is insane.
She could still do a better landing page though.
Yeah.
So like if you were going to do it, like, yeah, you should definitely have pictures of the books, what you're going to learn in each book, why you should be doing this, have a couple CTA click-throughs as in different sections of the thing. You entice them to buy it. But that's a phenomenal strategy. $8. Yeah. I mean, she's going to ship them at $8 probably. So she's getting $8 leads plus whatever her marketing budget is.
Plus the quality of those leads.
Yeah.
If someone searches sell my hoarder house, California,
how to save your family home.
How to save your family home. Then they land on here. They send their information. You know what? I'll take a book to read how to do that. Also, it's like they'll probably order the book, and then how likely are they just be like, dude, let me just call this person.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad.
Oh my God, I didn't even see this yesterday when we were on the Carrot podcast. Laurel Gibbs video talking about. I'm not a fan of this chatbot. Getting back to our community. Donation programs, dude, her credibility crushes. Donation to the basketball teams, food banks. So again, guys, 11 out of 10 example, but this is the essence of what I'm getting to, is when you have this built out, if you put two people's salesmanship or sales skills neck and neck, but you give this type of website and assets versus one that doesn't have that,
But it takes time. Like the thing is like I sat down with somebody at lunch the other day, and like we kind of talked about the same thing. And it's like it takes time to build content. Like because it was overwhelming. I was explaining this kind of strategy to them, and I was like, yeah, I get it. It seems overwhelming having case studies and e content and ebooks or articles. But like once you start making them, couple articles or 5-10 articles that you write over there that can form into a book or an ebook. That ebook turns into a landing page. Those pictures and content you create start copy pasting into other landing pages. It kind of builds. You know what I mean? Like as you're doing it, you build this stuff. Like she didn't just all of a sudden in one day go and donate all this money and write all these books. It's like it's a process. But you got to start. You know what I mean? Like these are years worth of donating and community impact that she finally compiled together.
This is amazing.
Yeah, she's got a very good building trust here.
Oh man, links to a podcast, business networking group she hosts. Man, geesh. I wish I saw this yesterday. Laurel gives about his contact. Reviews, standard stuff. Hey, just in case you're interested to see what people are.
That chatbot's annoying as fuck though.
Every time. Can I just X out of this? Oh, nice. Video reviews with YouTube style thumbnails. This is a clean site. Very, very clean site.
Now the question is how many leads does she generate from this site? Do you know?
That's a good question. I don't.
I
don't know.
Talked to her when you got this or what?
No, I don't. Maybe that's something she'd be willing to share, but
maybe we get her on the podcast.
Yeah, I'd love that. Oh my god, it still pops up even when I hit the X. That thing is persistent. That chat bot needs to be like a sales follow-up person.
Yeah.
But yeah, Papa P, that's essentially the the cut of the jib I was going for, speaking at the event, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I get it though, but it kind of might have missed your audience if they were all new. But I remember when I was newer and people were talking about this, and it's just overwhelming.
Yeah,
this was back in the day, and I wasn't new to real estate, but I was new to marketing at this level. And it was like, man, I got all this stuff going on in call center and RVMs and SMSs, and you know what I mean? Like I got cold calls, and now I got to write blog articles, and I got to do, and everyone talked about it, but like I just couldn't. What am I trying to say? Like I couldn't wrap my head around finding the time or the ability to even do that at scale to where it would be worth something. It was just so overwhelming. I just pushed it to the side. It wasn't until I got into mobile home parks and capital raising that I really started doing it. And it's like, social media is only one aspect of brand building. And it could be great, right? Like a lot of guys hit it big off of social media. Pace Morby, right? Obviously phenomenal. Like Eric Klein started hosting events, boom, viral off of video content. But there's also a lot of guys who go maybe not on the Instagram social stuff, but they build their brand through emails, through this type of content media, through ads, and they do it that way. And it's a whole different strategy. There's a couple guys that you mentioned to me that really excel at SEO and blogs and posting and trying to always be putting out content. That's not video, social media, look at me style content. It's just informational content, educational type of information that you would find when you search, like, what do I do with my hoarder house? And like an article pops up about being a hoarder, like, can I trust? Is wholesaling a scam? And someone's got an article that's like top 10 things to look out for when selling to a wholesaler. And it's just a wholesaler telling you the truth. And it's like, now you're looking at that person like, yeah, this guy, now I'm building trust, but that takes a lot to do.
Yeah.
And it's a different type of, most people just focus on the Instagram, but when you do that, that caters to the wrong audience, right? Like your Instagram usually is catered at people within your industry, not the customers that you're going after.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it was well received, but again, I think it's more the Maslow's hierarchy need. They're like, okay, this makes sense. I understand why this is powerful, but it's like, I have to talk to some sellers, also too, in addition to long-term. But that's what I kind of said too. I'm like, you guys see Pace Morby on social media all the time. You understand how powerful that is. But I think it's also powerful to have the social media presence and the website, built out.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man.
I agree. Go get you a carrot site or build a site or something, but get it out. But carrot's a great way to get into the site game. You know, built for you, easy. I mean, there's other companies out there, but it's just like obviously a lot of people use the carrot site for a reason. They've been around one of the probably the longest. But yeah.
Yeah, man. What's good in Papa P's neck of the woods this week?
Did an eviction.
You did?
Yeah. Bro, like these evictions get wild, and I love people online coming at me like, "Oh, I would have booted him out." Like, dude, that's not how evictions work. I would have had him out in a day. Okay, bro.
Right. Yeah, they talk a big game online.
It's like, oh man, it took because I was like, it took us all day to get this person out. And be like, would have taken me an hour with my crew, and it's like, bro, that's not even how this fucking works, dude. Like, no eviction goes smooth. So like. Anyway, we gave them, time, promise to pays, you know what I mean? Everything's a lie with this lady. Lie. This was the one I told you. Was it on the show I talked about going to court where I fell asleep?
It was the same lady, yeah.
Yeah, this is the same lady. Well, anyway, she then calls about how I'm out in Colorado and she's messaging about like how, oh, I didn't know there was a court date and I didn't show up and that's not fair and da 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 da. And I need tell Brandon I'll be out at the beginning of February. And like, it's like, seriously, you've been saying that the last time I gave you 30 days to leave, and the last time, and the time before that, and it's like you have no reason to believe them. You know what I mean? So no, I told my office, do not respond, do not placate to this. She knows she's getting kicked out in like a couple of days. Anyways, I had someone go by, not out the night before, call the sheriff, confirmed like, hey, they're still not out. We're still doing this tomorrow. Called my crew. My crew was ready to go. They get there. And so like what happens is like the sheriff you're talking to isn't always the sheriff that goes out, and like someone's who's skilled in evictions, well, the person I got was not the sheriff I was talking to. She had court and things to do, so they just sent who's ever on duty who happened to have never done an eviction before. And he was very clear with me over the phone, and my guy, he was covering his ass and he didn't know what to do. And he was waiting for a call back from that, well, I'm going to deputy or whatever, and from the city lawyer to see, because the lady's now arguing that she just needs more time to move stuff out. And so normally, listen, when you do an eviction, you're in, you grab your guys, show up, the sheriff literally removes them that morning because that's my day. You were supposed to be out before this day. Sheriff comes in, moves them out. And then you go in, remove all their stuff to the street gently. And then they have like whatever 24 hours to come and get that stuff before you could dump it. They wouldn't let us do that. We were there at 10:30. Wouldn't let us do it. So instead, he's allowing her to make runs. Picking stuff up, having a friend come, pick stuff up, bring it to somebody else's house, pick stuff up, and my guys are just waiting there calling me. So I get on the phone with him and I talk to him, and he just admits, he's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to just have you guys do that, and I'm waiting for a call back. And I'm being honest, this is what I'm doing, and this is how we're going to play it out. And I tried to explain, that's not, you can't argue with a cop, but like, I'm just like, that's not how it's supposed to be done. I was like, I do these all the time. This is my day. You're supposed to come there and remove them from the property and allow us to move them. I take possession at 10:30. And then they started crying about the stove was theirs. The fridge was theirs. And I'm like, listen, one, I bought this property as is, and everything inside the home belongs to me. I don't actually know if they replaced the original stove or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I was like, but yeah, they're going to leave it. So then they're arguing, they're threatened to sue. Okay, one, they can't even afford their fucking rent, let alone hiring an attorney to sue me. But so I go to my guy. I'm like, hey, Nin, can you just take me a photo of this stove and fridge that's causing so much hassle? Bro, the fucking stove is like kicked in. The glass front is all like fucking busted out, falling on the ground. You know, like the little things on the top are all rusted.
Did they break it?
Yeah, like just fucking destroyed. Rusted out on top coils. The fridge is like dead body status inside. Like just looks like somebody like blew diarrhea into it. Like just straight shit into the thing. Like there's weird food wrapped up in there and stuff. And I'm like, dude, they can have it. I'm like, this is what's causing such a pain in the ass. So, okay. So we go through this. And then finally we get permission to move shit out. They're there taunting him, my guy and his crew, calling them lazy because it's taking them so long to move an entire house worth of shit that they didn't do out. He calls me and he's politely moving trash into a trash pile, what he thinks is stuff into a stuff pile, trying not to damage it. He's like, Riley, I'm just trying to be like, dude, don't be nice. I was like, throw it all into one effing pile and let them figure it out if they want to be like that. So he does it. And they're there just badgering him the whole time. Sheriff stays. So finally, locks up. Now they're complaining because the window unit belongs to them, which again shouldn't, because should belong to me. But I have no proof. I took over this thing from absentee people who treated it like either way. I go, what kind of AC unit is it? He's like, it's just an old window unit. He's like, it's covered in mold. He's like, man, there's black mold all over the thing. And I was like, why do they want it? He's like, I don't know, but they're now arguing with the cop that they need permission to go back in and get it after we've locked up. I was like, just bring it out to them and let them effing have it, dude. Like, just let them have it. But it's just amazing of like this personality type. You've had 30 days. More than 30 days from the time I filed. You fought it in court, made me go to court, right? Like, it just wasn't 7 days and I get my foreclosure. You had 7 days to respond. By the time you respond, by the time they reach out to me, by the time we schedule the next available court date, from that court date to when the judge makes his summons that day, to then send it to the sheriff, for the sheriff to then call me, for the sheriff to then go out, for the sheriff when he goes out to then say, here's the day that you're moving out. That takes time.
Yeah.
Anybody that says I can kick someone out in 3 days on an eviction, that's not the process, at least not in the states that I've done it. So anyway, now they're arguing about fridges and stoves and moldy AC. This is what they're arguing about. And then they couldn't get their car to move. So the sheriff says you need to have it gone by tomorrow. So my guy goes back out. I have another job for him out there the next day. Guess what? Car's still there. But I get a text. Hey, Mr. Brandon, I blah, 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 broke down, blah, 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 but I'm going to have it out by tomorrow or the next morning. And it's like, dude, it's the same shit, bro. There's always an effing excuse, dude. Always an excuse. And it's just like, at a certain point, you just stop caring. And it sounds bad, but like, you just can't believe anything that they say. It's just lies after lies. And then he had his number on the truck. Amateur. I tried explaining it to him.
Phone number? Like a business phone number?
So then they must have wrote it down. So then they're calling him and harassing him.
Oh, your guy did. I thought you said the tenants did.
No, my guy.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, oh, I wonder what business they are.
Had his business number on his truck. Wrote it down. They're calling him, harassing at him, yelling at him, all that kinds of shit, right? Well, apparently, they gave the number to a sister of the aunt who was there with the sister's kids. I don't fucking know. Anyway, that sister's a correctional officer. Apparently her uniform is in there. And now they're accusing of us throwing out like state government property of some sort. And like my uniform, I can't just have anybody touching that. That's like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, just tell them it's in the fucking pile and go get it. And if it was that important, they should have had it out prior to. This wasn't a surprise. They had 10 days because I left town. I gave them 10 days from when the sheriff told them to the date that I set. They had 10 days. Most of the time, it's within like a couple days. But I was leaving for Colorado, and I didn't want to do it the day I got back either. So I just gave them some space. What did it matter to me? I was like, fine, 10 days. They had all that time, and now, after the fact, now all this stove, fridge, AC unit, correctional outfit, you're slow, you're lazy, you're taking too long to move my stuff out. It is wild, bro. Wild. Anyway, guess how much stuff they came to get of that?
None.
I mean, maybe they came and got a couple things, but anyway, the next afternoon, we dumped it all. I think it was 2 days later, actually.
Good.
We're just wild, man. It's like, and the guy made good money. Listen, I pay well. He also saved me a trip to Georgia, so I didn't have to drive. I wasn't in the mood to go deal with this. So I paid him extra just to be my guy. And it's good. Like, you know what I mean? And he loved it. He said it was the most enjoyable thing he's ever done.
Yeah, man. So you will like that. Yeah, hopefully you got a nice steak and mashed potato dinner after dealing with all that.
I'm assuming what I paid, he got a lot more than that. But
Good.
But I remember one eviction I did where I moved out. It was in Sarasota, and I physically did it because it was for a bank when I was a foreclosure agent, and so I was there.
Are you strapped when you go there?
No, I don't have a carry permit, but I do keep knives and all. I mean, I have all my
in Florida. You don't need one though, don't you?
Now, I mean, this was like a decade ago at this
point. Oh, okay, we're talking way back.
Yeah, I haven't been an agent. This was back during the bank foreclosure days, and I'm there with my guys. And
like when, like 08?
No, this was like 12, 13,
okay,
14, I don't know.
When the REOs were popping off. When
wholesalers
were doing REO deals.
Yeah, this was way back in the day. I was probably in my 20s, maybe 30, whatever. Anyway, that's how long ago. But we had to move them out, and what happened was it wasn't even an eviction of tenants. They were squatters. I was actually selling a foreclosure listing. Somebody did a fake lease. They claim, we think it was just them, but they claim somebody took money from them claiming they were the owners, then moved them in and they had a fake lease. It's just a scam squatters do, where squatters move in, they write a lease, sign it with a fake name and claim it was the landlord. And once they have that paper, they argue squatter rights, and then it goes through all kinds of headaches. Anyway, that's what they did. Took us a while to get them out. So I go there to get them out, and the sheriff's there. We go in this fucking house, Carlos. I shit you not. They're Haitian. It is religious worship statues. They have altars of sacrifice. We go out, and like there was this patio leading out to the canal of like where you would store your boat. So it was like kind of like a boat garage. Dude, they had a slaughter altar. There was blood all over the walls, chicken guts, chicken necks. Like, dude, they were literally slaughtering fucking chickens, sacrificing them.
That's terrifying.
And the altar, the prayer altar, had the food offerings, all the stuff. They had all the whatever their priestess are, the things, decoration. I mean, dude, the entire living room was filled with this. And so I'm moving this stuff out, and I'm trying to be polite because like this is religious stuff, and although I don't believe in that religion, I just don't need any bad juju. They didn't give a shit. They're out there. They literally are out there putting curses on me, speaking in Haitian tongue, yelling at me, pointing at me, putting what I can only believe are like Haitian curses on me. It was the worst thing. I've done a lot of evictions and move outs and all kinds of stuff, but that one, dude, was horrible. They're on the other side of the road, just literally praying and cursing me.
I'm good. I'm good staying far away from that. That's crazy. That reminds me of Bad Boys 2 when they break into like the Haitians. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
They break into the Haitians' house, have a little shootout there. That's terrifying.
So anyway, I mean, this one wasn't like that, but there was rats, roaches. Like he said, as I was moving stuff, he's like, I'm pulling out boxes. This eviction that happened the other day. He's like, I'm pulling out boxes, and he's like, there was dead rats just underneath stuff. And he's like, as I was moving stuff, the live rats were running into other corners. He's like, roaches. And I'm like, dude, like, this is crazy. And so people blame me as the landlord. One, I bought the property like this, and I've moved out like 15 people, and I'm rehabbing them. But like, you can't, when you have people in and you take over this, it's them. One, they rats and rodents and pest control, that's on the people, not on the landlord. And I hate when people say, oh yeah, you run a slum. Dude, it's an individual structure. You keep your house clean, you spray, you put up traps, just like we do at our house. And I've done it all my rentals that I've lived at in my 20s. It's like, you just take care of it. But people on Instagram, when I post this stuff or TikTok, they're always like, oh yeah, you're a slumlord. No, dude, it is their job to take care of their own pest control and not be effing dirty.
Oh yeah. I don't know how people, I mean, it's everywhere. It's a deeper psychological type thing, seeing people just live like that or let their house get like that. It's crazy. But yeah, that's obviously not on the landlord.
Yeah, I mean, so anyway, I mean, there was a lot of wild stuff like toys, adult toys mixed in with the kids' toys on the floor in the same room that the kids were in. And it's like, how is that even? And he's just like, dude, this is out of all the ones I've done for you, man. He's like, this is the worst. I go, really? Because you've done this property has some nasty shit. And he's like, no, dude, this was the worst. I can't believe like they had kids in here. Like this.
That one takes the cake.
Yeah, and he was like, it was fun doing an eviction. I'll do more for you of this. Like I don't mind. Like this was fun. I enjoyed the whole day. You know what I mean? But like this one was nasty, bro. So
I'm good. I don't miss going into Baltimore row houses like that.
I mean, it's just the nature of being a landlord, and people always talk about real estate, and it's like, so like, think about this. You want to get into real estate, and you want to buy a park or a rental, and you hire a realtor, and this realtor is making 10% of your rent, which means maybe he's making $100 a month. How many realtors do you think are going to go there and do these types of things and move people out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's why the property management game is such a crapshoot. It's hard to find people who could do that because you make so little in property management. You only make money in property management at scale. And then, like, of course, things fall through the crack, but it's tough. Real estate is a very active operation.
Yeah.
It's like, that just goes to show you, like, as a landlord, yes, you get cash flow, but at the same time, cost me money to move that guy out, cost me money to send her to court. I missed rent. I mean, I had a deposit, but that's not going to cover everything. I got to rehab this unit. I got to turn it. I'm going to have a huge vacancy time frame because I got a bunch of other units I got to turn. So it's like, you know, but you love
crazy,
it at
the
same time.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. But I'm glad you got her out.
Yeah. Yeah, I got probably one more person. One more. I thought she was my last one, but I had a conversation with somebody else that I think she's trying to stick it through. And I told her, I was like, ma'am, I was like, if you can't pay your rent right now, what are you going to do when I raise rents when the leases come, you know, later this spring? Like, she goes, I just want to try. I'm like,
crazy, man. Crazy, man. We didn't say at the top of the episode, but Dan was an awesome guest.
Yeah, he was. He was. You learned a lot, huh? You going to get policy?
I want to watch some of the I think that you watch those. What makes you want to do, because I haven't seen them, but I've heard people talk about them. I think that you've seen them. What are the documentaries called that have like the Rockefellers, the men who built America?
Or yeah, that's America?
That's what makes me
I love it.
Want to watch that, to more so just understand like how those people.
I mean, that make show moves and how they think. That, but that show was amazing.
Well, it's the people.
Yeah.
What makes me think of that show is just those high level people, because it's Rockefellers on the show, right? Rockefeller, Carnegie,
Morgan, somebody else, but yeah, I watched it a couple years ago. It was a phenomenal documentary series. It just goes about their business, and they do it in order of like time frame, how it goes.
Yeah, I want to see that.
What was his name? Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was the first. They went from Vanderbilt to Carnegie to Morgan, I think, something like that. They kind of went in order. Tesla was in there, you know, and so on and so on.
It made me want to be like, damn, I want to watch that, just see like what type of moves those people make is interesting. What else was I going to say on that note? I can't recall, but that was it. What to do a follow-up episode with him. Super, super exciting. We have some guests coming on as well. One of them, I told you, has a mobile home park acquisition question. I got the guy for you to chat with. But we're going to have Investor Boots on, Steven Cohen from Investor Boots.
Can't wait.
That'll be pretty solid. You know, potentially being able to link it up in the CRM, just be able to put in orders for lock boxes. We'll talk more about that, but essentially a company that you can put in like service work for lock boxes. I wonder if they do evictions. We'll have to ask him what that would look like. That'd be crazy service. Lock boxes, pictures, property runners.
I'm sure you could. I mean, really, the eviction is just more about your threshold for danger.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't feel safe doing that shit. And even with the cop there, there's still confrontation.
Definitely. No, that's a different breed. That's a different breed. You need to roll up with a bulletproof Cybertruck.
I would never.
Rolling up to an eviction in a Cybertruck, what would the tenant think? They would just be so scared. They just immediately get out. They abide.
You would get no respect. They'd be like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking tool." As I try to drive away, my battery dies, and I'm just like sitting there with no juice. I have to go get a generator to charge me.
That's so funny, dude. That's so funny. But yeah, we got Investor Boots coming on, and then also Rick Howell, longtime Investor Fuse member, newer Carrot member. But he's interesting because he's done a ton of cold calling and now has switched to all inbound, just TV ads, which is pretty cool. So he's going to talk about that, how he funnels it to the new Carrot site that's 2 months old. So he's crushing it. He's like, man, I'm not doing any outbound. So he's going to talk about that. Wants to talk a little bit mobile home park because he said he'll expand on it, but he said his office is on a mobile home park, I believe. He said there's one right behind him or something, and someone's trying to buy it. He's trying to facilitate a deal there. So I was like, I got the guy for you.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm trying to scoop up more, but trying to close this one that I got. But yeah, so he's coming on. I'd love to talk to him about that. I saw this thing for Wonder Ads, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. I was watching Shark Tank, and so I guess he's got TV advertising, wonderads.com for small businesses. I was going to look into it. I was very curious about like what that was, because it was the TV ad was more about like, hey, you get the same thing as like you get when you do online advertising, the dashboards and all that stuff you get through this, and you do TV advertising. And I was very curious as to how much it costs, but like apparently I'm looking at it now. Hulu, simplified buying TV ads on things like Hulu. I mean, I don't know.
That could be a move.
Interesting.
That could be a move. I'm sure people will have success with it. Catch all the people on the streaming services.
I mean, that's dude. Honestly, now that we're talking about that, like that's so I'm canceling all mine. I literally am down. I think I got to figure out how to cancel my Peacock. It took me a while to cancel Disney because apparently it was tied to my Verizon. Like, and I'm trying to unravel all of these bills, hundreds of dollars of subscriptions, and we're just over it. And it's more principle. It's like I pay an ass ton of money in the top tier, and I'm still getting freaking ads. And like the one, like I was paying for all these subscriptions on Amazon, like my total Amazon thing, I think by the time you start doing all the add-ons was like $70 to $90 a month. You know what I mean? And it's like, so some of them, no matter what, they just play ads in the middle. Other ones are like, these short ads will play to before your entertainment or before your show to not disturb you and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but I'm paying for no ads. The subscription says no ads, not before, not during, not after, just no fucking ads. And like, it's just getting to be annoying. And then like, I swear I have to pay to rent everything. Anything I want to watch. I was on the airplane, came back, and there was a show from like 1990. And I go to look for it, and it's like $5 to rent or $4 to rent. And I'm like, this show's like 30 fucking years old. It should be goddamn free. Why the fuck? I could go buy the DVD on some fucking yard sale for 99 cents, and you want to charge me this much? It's a 30-some-year-old show. These things bother me, so we canceled all of our subscriptions. But I digress. Weaving back, it's like, if that's the case, these ads are becoming, because they're realizing how much revenue they can make on top of their subscriptions, and they're forcing it down people's throats. I do think people are going to say no more and start canceling, because I think I've talked to so many people who are fed up about it. And I think, I'm going back to DVDs, bro. I'm going back to DVDs. And I just bought my daughter up at school because, she can't get them because they added in those, what do you call it? Like where they check
VPN
your IP.
blocker?
Yeah, your IP address. If you're not in the same house, they shut your account down. So she on all of my accounts, and then Netflix occasionally works for her, and then eventually she's got to re-sign in, say she's on vacation, and it's just like, dude, like, now my daughter, you want me to pay for my daughter at college, even though like it's my kid, and I'm already paying you like $80-some a month to watch this, but like you can't. So anyway, I bought her for her birthday. I got her DVD players, a bunch of like complete series DVDs, the whole sets and stuff to binge. And I just think that's where people are going. But doing TV ads on Hulu, obviously, I think it's better now more than ever, because there's ads everywhere, dude. Prime, Netflix, Peacock, all of them. They're all just shoving ads down your throat at this point in life.
Seriously, man. It's interesting. Super interesting. There's a guy that does streaming. I need to find him. I've spoken with him before, but that's like his thing is marketing on the streaming services.
There's no pricing on his site though. You have to talk to the team. You have to funnel in and see how much it is to use this dashboard, but then you still got to pay for the ads. So I don't know how that works. Anyway,
Cool, man. We'll be back next week. It should be with Rick Howell to talk about how he went from cold calling and outbound heavy for a long time to TV ads, crushing it with TV ads early on. He came up as a Fortune Builders student / coach. So he's been in the game for a long time. But yeah, man, who you got in the Super Bowl this weekend?
No, I'm not watching it. I don't care. I'm so pissed. I mean, the whole thing's fucking rigged, dude.
You think so?
It was a shitty last weekend. I mean, watching it, dude, it's just like, how can you? It's just the. I'm not even getting into it. It's just like the bullshit. That Chiefs game was so freaking horrible, and it was just like I was watching it on my pad in Colorado, and I'm just like, did that, does that seriously just happen? Like, how's that? I'm like, dude, like, they just won another Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl. Congratulations. But the Eagles are going to win.
Okay. I would take that.
Jeff Bezos is boarding up his stores in Philadelphia, which some people are saying because he's so rich, he already knows who's going to win, and he knows Philadelphia fans are going to riot when they win. So, you know what I mean? Obviously, if the rich people know the Eagles are winning, and I'm like, that kind of makes sense. So let's see how that goes.
I like it.
I think everyone's done with the Chiefs, dude. Like, we all hate the fucking Chiefs. They're the modern day Cowboys. We're just fucking done.
Yeah,
just done with you, dude.
Yeah, I'd be good with a Philly win.
The refs in the Chiefs games, the biggest bunch of sissies ever. It's like you touch Mahomes, they're like, oh, roughing the passer.
It's brutal. Cool, man.
Meanwhile, I saw a video about local, not here, but a football league for grown men, no pads, tackle football. You have to sign a waiver. It's not here. I don't know where it's at, but I was watching videos of them playing, and I was like, "Fuck, that would hurt so bad." And I was like, "Yeah, you play it when you're little. You play it when you're little, and because you're bendable and you don't get hurt. But like at 40, I could see myself at like 40 years old going to play this. I'd play one game and I'd be crippled."
That's so funny, bro. Yeah. Send me that. I would definitely see some tackles. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
That's so funny. Cool, man. Well, we'll link back next week with Rick Howell. Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy the Super Bowl.